Hey guys, Jonah here, and today we're making baked vegetarian empanadas. So living here in Miami, you can find empanadas pretty much anywhere at any little Cuban shop or bakery. They're this delicious pastry filled with meat and cheese or just plain cheese. Sometimes I've gotten them vegetarian with black beans or with spinach and cheese. But today I decided to make my own vegetarian version, and the best part is that they're baked, and I use a little shortcut because, as some of you may know, I'm not really a big fan of baking. I pretty much bake chocolate chip cookies around the holidays, and that's about it for me. So I'm taking a little shortcut by using puff pastry from the freezer section and then rolling it out, adding my delicious sweet potato and black bean filling, and then baking it up, and it makes these delicious little bite-sized empanadas. They're super crispy, chewy, and the filling is so flavorful and delicious. I hope you like it. So we'll start by flouring our cutting board or countertop so that we can roll out the puff pastry. And this puff pastry comes in the freezer section. You're going to want to let it defrost for about 40 minutes, and then it's time to just roll it out so that it's a little bit thinner. So I'm going to roll it out into about a 12 by 12 sheet. I don't have a rolling pin, so I just use the edge of a smooth round cup. And this puff pastry, when you cook it up, is, obviously this isn't a traditional empanada, but these are so flaky and crispy and chewy on the inside, and just kind of the perfect vehicle for this delicious sweet potato and black bean filling. So we're going to make little rounds. I'm using the top of my flour dish, but use anything that works for you, maybe like a small 4 or 5 inch plate. You might want to make your empanadas a little bit bigger. I kind of like mine to be, I'd say that this is about 4 inches in diameter, and just cut out the little rounds and set them aside. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do just generally want it to be a smooth round base. And then once you have cut all of your empanada rounds out, you're going to set them aside, and it's time to do the filling. So we're going to put 1 clove of garlic into our food processor. I've roasted up a sweet potato, and I'm going to add that in, and then it's time to add a little seasoning. So I'm going to add a little bit of fresh turmeric. I've been putting this in a lot more of my dishes because it's very good for you. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of cayenne pepper for some kick. And then, of course, as always, we'll add some fresh herbs. So I'm adding 2 sprigs of dried rosemary and then 3 sprigs of fresh thyme. And then we're going to follow this up with a little bit of salt and pepper, of course. And then I'm going to add some fresh orange zest. So I just love how the fresh orange zest flavors this. It adds like a nice freshness, but be careful not to add too much. I'd say that at most you're adding like a teaspoon of it. And then just to kind of loosen this up a little bit, we're going to add a few rounds of olive oil, probably about 1 or 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and give it a quick whiz in the food processor. And then once that's pretty much combined, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of goat cheese. This adds a really nice tanginess and a nice creaminess to the sweet potato filling. So combine all of that and then set it aside in a bowl once you're finished, and then we're going to add a big kind of heaping half cup of black beans. You could really add any kind of beans to this that you like, but I chose black beans. I don't want to add too many. I want the ratio of black beans to be less than the sweet potato filling. And now it's time to make a little bit of an egg wash. So I've cracked an egg, and then I put like a little drizzle of water in there, and this is just going to be to seal the empanada dough. So we'll put our little puff pastry round down, put a little bit of that egg wash all the way around the edge so that we can seal it at the end. And then it's time to fill the empanada. So you're going to add, for this size, like I said, this is about like 3 or 4 inches in diameter. I think I added about 2 teaspoons, but just kind of experiment with it. Add a little bit. You're kind of adding it just to 1/2 of the round. Make sure that you leave a little bit of an edge so that you can seal it at the end. And if it's too much, take a little bit out. But once you do one, they come together really quickly. You're just going to kind of seal the ends with the edge of your fork so that the filling doesn't come out. and go ahead and finish these up, and you're going to set them on a baking sheet. I lined mine with tin foil just for a little bit of an easier cleanup since these are so flaky and crispy. And make sure that you preheat your oven to 375 degrees before you do this so that it's ready to go. And then you're going to brush every single empanada with a little bit of that egg wash so that they're nice and crispy and flaky when they come out. Put a little slit in the top of every single one so that the steam can release. And then after 25 minutes of these being in the oven, you have delicious, flavorful, flaky empanadas. I hope that you enjoy. Be sure to subscribe to my page for more recipes and comment below if you liked it.